shy for love. I've been hurt before. All's fair in love and war. So I snuggle up close to the shell I'm living in. And if I let you in, another round begins. No, I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side.
Should I be scared? The feeling's so different now. You got me floating here, a feather in the air. Oh, but when the wind blows, will I tumble or sail away? Or would you have me stay? And what if I escape? I know
I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side, by your side. I'm not afraid. We found something that'll never fade. We can be ourselves and figure out the rest along the way. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side. I need you by my side. I need you by my side.
I think that I mean I think I hope we serve that kind of role in people's lives, but you
I
know,
have to believe that we are doing the work of the angels, because
yes,
if we're not, uh,
then why?
there's no hope for the world, really. I
There's
mean, it's I think we're what the world needs,
yeah,
and it's important for us to own that
right.
and to remember it and not lose sight of just how important this work is.
For sure, but was
You
it
know what I mean?
like what was Batman's thing, right? He's the hero that Gotham hero that Gotham deserves, not the one it needs, or the one it needs but not the one it deserves, something like that. It was
Yeah,
it was
I
very
can't remember
profound.
which
I know.
way. Yes, I'm sure it was very profound. That's why you remember it so
It
well.
was said by Batman. So,
Um, it was said by Batman, who, as we know, is always a great philosopher. The
yes, among his other skills,
Batman,
yes.
and among his other skills, yeah, along with Plato and
Yes.
Aristotle,
Aristotle,
you have
Batman,
you have Batman. Yeah,
Bruce fucking Wayne,
um,
Batman.
I gotta say,
So we're live. Hello everyone, and we're sad that we were gone, but now we're back, and
I am so sorry that we
it
have
was
been
his
gone.
fault.
This
It
is
was his
not
fault, pretty
my
much.
fault. This is
It was his
not
fault.
my fault.
It was
It
my
was.
fault.
I.
It
I'm
was
not, I
actually
don't want
my
to give
fault.
any details,
It was
but there was an accident with a trombone
it was the
that
fault.
Vanguard had to deal with.
It was the
I don't.
it was one of our faults.
I'm not here to embarrass anybody. I'm just saying, but I will apologize on behalf of both of us for
Yes.
one of our
And
letting everybody down.
that's why I keep calling you back, because you're willing to take one for the team, and that goes a long way. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I mean, just going through all of the mail and
I know.
just reading the despair and the weeping from people who,
The mail's been rough.
for us not even being on, I had no idea. I meant, that we meant so much to so many. And it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to be hit you all at once.
I know. I
Um,
personally can't handle that emotional overload. That's why I made you the mail guy, because I just can't do it. So
I had a feeling that was why, because I try.
into
I
criticism.
know. No, you can't.
No,
Really can't.
gotta be perfect. Be
Yeah.
loved.
You don't even like knowing the fact that you can't take criticism. As that.
I can't
criticism.
acknowledge that. I can't acknowledge that.
No, no.
Of course I
You
can.
off.
Of course I can. I can't.
Yeah, of course I can.
Not.
I can fucking take criticism so fucking well.
I'll
God damn
punch
it.
you if you criticize me, but give it to me.
Oh, I will take it so hard.
So hard. Speaking of hard, so we're here, we're back. So again, apologies for being away, but we had a couple personal engagements that came up that sort of conflicted, and we don't want to give you guys a half-ass show, so we should have been a little more communicative about that. But we do appreciate the emails of support. Thank you very much, and we are back. So we have a bunch of questions saved up.
Yep.
So
No, we have saved up. Now there's we've got overload, so
I
I
think
mean
so.
we have to kind of get to it.
yeah, we do have to get to it.
Because now, I mean, people who expected us to answer their call have now
Right.
Are now in some sort of abyss or a
Oh.
queue or a sort of an ether
Yeah,
where
we're-
they don't know what's up, what's down. I think it's important that we get
Right.
started.
We're going to have to keep that in mind as we look at these, right? And see if anything might have changed in the past 2 weeks that could have either improved or worsened the
That's
situation,
true.
right? So, all right, let's see. All right, so first one comes from Matilda from White Plains, New York. Hello, guys. I, 19-year-old female, will be getting sexually active with my boyfriend, 16-year-old male, soon, and I'm paranoid about getting pregnant. We are both inexperienced, and he has purchased condoms, but will these condoms, plus the fact that I'm not ovulating, plus having him pull out, ensure that I won't get pregnant? Or do I need to take it up a step and purchase a Plan B pill as well? Matilda from White Plains. Wow, talk about belt and suspenders for Matilda.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Matilda. Now I'm absolutely not trying to avoid your question. But what you just described was your plan to rape a child. And so
What's it
what
gonna
you
go?
need to be is more concerned with being arrested and being convicted of statutory rape. If you're in New York, that
Yeah,
age is
definitely not cool in
17.
New York. 17. Yeah.
So let's just say, first piece of advice: before you schedule your double cherry busting party, wait till your boy's birthday. Okay, so like hold off until your boy's birthday.
I
After
think
that,
doesn't-
you'll be good legally.
doesn't New York have the parental consent exception that if they sign, the parents sign authorization, you're
I do not think that is happening in this situation, but if
fair. I know if I had a
Wait,
16-year-old son and
Matilda,
if a 19-year-old
wait until his
woman showed
birthday.
up and said, "Hey, can you sign this document so I could have sex with your underage 16-year-old son?" I would not be receptive to probably signing that document. But
Right,
that's just
yeah,
me.
exactly.
I don't know.
I just yeah,
Am I a crazy
mean,
parent? I don't.
but yeah, but until then, once you're all legal and you're not, being concerned with seeing the inside of a jail cell, you can take, appropriate measures. You listed 3 things, only one of which is actually reliable, which is condoms. So relying on tracking your body's ovulation or trying to pull out the cork before it pops into the lady oven, like that's insane. So don't. That's hormonal birth control combined with condoms, safest method.
Completely.
That's just
Don't worry about the
that is
pulling out.
just
Also,
that is the
a 16-year-old, well, 17. We're again advancing him to 17 to Green Pant's earlier point, right? 17-year-old, he might say he's going to pull out. He will not. So don't count on that part.
He might have the intention to even
Right.
but
Right.
he will not.
Yeah. By the way, I just double checked. So it's a between 13 and 16 offense is a Class E felony, prison sentence up to 4 years.
Right. So
just so you know,
if we want to get that out of the way, okay. So wait until his birthday. Matilda also mentions Plan B. You don't want to be popping Plan B like they're fucking Tic Tacs.
Right.
It's like Grandma always said, morning after pills in moderation. Okay.
I think Grandma had morning after pills.
No, because you don't want to go fucking with your baby maker's egg release timing all willy nilly. Is all I'm saying. Remember, it's supposed to be Plan B, not Plan A.
Yes.
So chopping down those things every time is probably not a good long-term plan.
Right. But I mean, as far as and to your point on
along with the statutory rape, also that's a terrible short-term plan.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
let's move that out.
But let's see, condoms not ovulating. Yeah, I mean, condoms are extremely effective when used properly. Let me emphasize that.
Oh, that's the whole
properly.
If you don't have that little asterisk, because it's like 99,
Yes.
but when
watch the videos on YouTube of how to put them on properly and how to remove them properly, and you will not have a problem. I can almost, don't want to guarantee, but almost guarantee, right? Sperm does not phase through the wall of a condom.
No, it does not.
Doesn't break, and removed and put on properly, there is no problem. So, there you go.
But the pulling out part and all that, that's all just
That's right. In often cases with a condom,
that's all basically stuff dudes made up in order to be able to do more. I mean, that's what that is.
Right up there with
if I pull out, it doesn't. Then it doesn't.
Right up there
matter.
with just
really?
the tip.
Right, exactly. If we just put the tip in, and then it's just like it's a little bit. It's fine.
Or what was that question we had a while ago? We had one about the soaking. Remember that? Where you the soaking?
Oh, right. Which is like
can't even go there.
That was
the Mormons.
Yeah,
let's not go back to the Mormons.
I mean, hey, Mormons, just fuck.
Thank you.
Like, be like, just
look at your
stop
elders.
being all weird.
Look at your elders. They're fucking multiple people.
Right.
And
Exactly.
It's okay.
So yeah.
For sure. So anyway, Matilda, condoms, use properly, install properly, check the videos. Wait till he's 17.
Yeah.
Enjoy the experience. Right.
Yes.
I would have Plan B on hand,
uh,
honestly. If you pull the condom out, if it broke, that's the number one thing is it breaks, right? So if it breaks, I would probably do the Plan B, right? But don't take it like Green Pants on a regular basis. You know what I mean? So condom, make sure the condom to break, you're fine. So no worries.
Yeah, and you can take it up to 5 days, but it's 24 hours is best, and if the condom breaks, bam, So it's like boom, take the Plan B. Egg does not release. You're
100%,
okay.
100%.
So.
Yep. So good luck. Enjoy your first
Happy
experience.
fucking.
Once your boyfriend, enjoy your first experience once your boyfriend is, of legal age, of course.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
once you remove felony from the equation,
we
sex
get
is awesome.
we get
Like,
a
what do
lot of
yeah.
these, we get a lot of the, oh, my 15-year-old
Yeah.
girlfriend. It's like, no, stop. You can't have a 15-year-old girlfriend. You literally
Yeah.
can't.
This is why our work is so important. And this is why we do what we do.
Yeah, to remind folks of this, right? So, but let's be realistic. Kids are gonna be kids. Were you of legal consent age when you first had intercourse? You were not. You were not. You were not.
Listen,
Just saying.
statute of limitations is gone. No, I wasn't. Yeah. There's no statute of limitations is long expired. Yeah, you're right. I will. Yeah, I was not.
Okay,
That's
that's
true.
fine. Stick with that story. That's fine. All right, very good. So Matilda, hope that helps. Good luck. Good luck. Don't have sex with underage people. Okay, here we go. Next question. Marcy from Madison, Indiana asks, so I was out of the country for a month, and I knew my mom was going to clean my room for me while I was gone, and I didn't think it'd be an issue. She asked me, is there anywhere you don't want me cleaning or looking through? I said, not to go through my desk drawers. I had a small box with things she obviously didn't know about, some edibles, some sex toys, etc. When I got home, I opened the desk and everything was gone. She threw all my shit away. I spent my own money on that stuff. What am I supposed to do? Marcy from Madison, Indiana asks.
It sounds like someone just realized that they need to move out of their parents' house.
I wish she said how old,
okay.
Marcy, how old she was.
Right. Yeah, because a few things. So she said that she is going out of the country for a month, and also that, all the stuff that she bought with her own money. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put a chair out on that tree limb and say that Marcy is an adult.
But mom's gonna clean my room. What a
no,
mommy clean your
because
room.
because this is what it happened. So so Marcy, and unless you're paying rent, you actually don't have a room. You're borrowing accommodations. So and is any that's so
agreed. But there's an unspoken agreement with some degree of measure of privacy.
I suppose, but having been a person who did live in a home with parents, if my mom had ever said, is there anything you don't want me to go through? That means, hey, heads up, while you're gone, I'm going to extinguish the dumpster fire that is your bedroom.
Yes.
So if there's anything at all in there that you don't want me to see, you better get it the fuck out, because you're leaving for a month.
Yes.
I'm going to take care of this disaster. Right. That is a warning. She gave her a heads up to basically clear her shit out, and Marcy did not take it. She, for some reason, thought that it meant that oh, please let me know where your personal items are, so that I would want to make sure I know you'd feel uncomfortable with me, knowing about them. So out of respect for your privacy, said no mom ever. Like, what? Like, hey, where do you keep all the shit you don't want me to see? In my desk drawer.
In my desk drawer.
Okay, bye.
Click, door closes. Desk drawer.
Right. So not even getting into living in the parents' house and all the other stuff, but that was
no one was
in.
I feel no one's in the right here. Like Marcy, you were again foolish for your approach should have been before you left is like, Mom, I'm now age, and say your age, insert age here, right? I will take care of my room. I'll clean it when I get back. I appreciate the concern, but I don't want anyone to hear while I'm gone.
Right.
My private stuff, right? And then done.
Right? But like, remember, she will, she'll gladly she will diligently dig through your dildo drawer, I think.
Apparently she did.
Well, because if you shift your perspective a little, like, you kind of invited her to peruse your sex toys and eat your weed.
Right.
You
think she ate
if that
edibles?
wasn't your if that wasn't your intention, like, you kind of drove a truck
Yeah,
right into
right through
you know
that
that
barrier there.
awkward conversation.
Yeah.
Well, okay, you know that awkward feeling that you get when you get to the top of a Ferris wheel and you throw up on the person next to you, and then you're stuck up there,
No.
and the person has throw up all over them, and you're
No,
like,
that doesn't
and
happen
then you
to
have to
normal
wait for the
people.
carny below to actually like hit the lever, and she's screaming and crying, and you're just like, oh my god, and then the guy doesn't do anything, and then you think they're gonna rotate you down, but instead like they rotate you
Right.
down, and you're like, okay, good, oh my god, I'm gonna be able to get off, and no, he keeps going, and
Right.
he looks and he goes, ha ha,
Yeah.
and you go back up again, and meanwhile she's still crying and puking,
And covered in
that
puke,
kind
right.
of awkward.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of
That is
you know,
pretty awkward.
that's it's kind of like that.
Yeah, but I will say, mom is in the wrong for throwing your shit out, right? Like, you could be embarrassed by it.
I
You
agree.
could take exception to it. Like, you could have a talk with her when she comes on. She's like, you're staying here for free. I don't appreciate having this stuff in my house, and have that conversation. Fine, whatever, right? But she should not throw your shit away. In my opinion, she owes you replacement cost for that shit. You bought it, it's your stuff, right? She threw away your personal property.
Yeah, in a perfect world, I suppose yes, that would be true. In the actual world that we live in,
The place of real things, people.
the place of real things, I believe Marcy is probably,
Out of luck,
a
yeah.
adult yet young, 18, 19, 20, whatever that is, leaving the country, perhaps to go abroad for, some reason, to if you've got weed and sex toys in your drawers
Mhm.
and stuff, just remove them while you're like
Right.
that.
Bring them to a friend. Say,
Yeah.
hey, hold my shit for me.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
eat all my
Or just
weed.
like-
Don't eat all my weed. Here's my shit.
right. Or just or well, give them the weed to eat for them as
Payment,
compensation
right.
for
Yeah,
them
for sure.
watching over your sex toys.
I hope that
you
I hope that she took that one travel one with her, so she has at least something. You know what I mean? To be without is a
Like
The crime.
has like a bullet or jackrabbit,
yeah.
something like
You
that.
know what I mean? Little
Yeah. Well, those are easy enough to. I mean,
Bing.
Amazon Prime, you can get those at CVS now.
Can you really? The
They're
bullet?
called massagers.
Oh
They're
my
called
God.
massagers.
The bullet's so effective. I can't even tell you. Girls,
Oh, you can.
girls,
I've
you
been
got to
told.
get this bullet. Tell you. So, Marcia, I hope you have one saved sex toy. I guess that's what I'm coming up with. But yeah, I
Yeah,
would say to your
I
mom
mean-
and say, Mom,
But there's plenty of sex toys out there.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I think you got burned, Marcy. But
You
that
did.
it was a little bit.
I would have the conversation with the mom. I would say, look, I asked you not to go in the drawer. You did. It's my personal stuff. You threw it away. I paid for all that stuff. So what the heck, Mom? What's the deal? Like, if you're uncomfortable
Right.
with it, fine, let's talk about it. But you don't just throw it all away.
Right.
Um,
Well, and that's where that awkward conversation comes in. Like, do you want to go there?
But life
Because I
has
think your
awkward
mom's playing a
conversation.
game.
I think awkward conversation is a life skill, and what better place to start than with this? You know what I mean? It's gonna happen. You're gonna have those kinds of conversations.
I suppose. Yeah, and maybe she didn't eat all your weed, so you can
Just
know,
keep the weed, give me my
add
sex
to your
toys
wider
back.
conversation. But yeah. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't really get into all of the the legality of a kid living in the because there's certain like respectable boundaries and you have, but
Yes.
you kind of fell for leaving the country after telling your mom where you keep
Don't go
your
in my
weed and
desk
your
drawer.
sex
Yeah,
toys.
then that was mistake was happening there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I wonder what the etc.
It's a
was.
lot
She's like
on Marcy.
edibles, sex toys, etc. I wonder what the etc. was that also got thrown away. By the way, I'm like, what could have been so bad in the etc. that it didn't pass muster of getting kept?
Other
Porn,
other drugs
other
of some
drugs,
kind.
Some
Mescaline
Molly,
perhaps, or
some-
crack cocaine.
right?
Uh,
Amphetamines, maybe, or some
uh,
hillbilly
cocaine.
heroin.
locks of the
Fen-
hair that she's cut off her murder victims.
Perhaps a fentanyl,
Um,
locks of hair.
Yeah. Perhaps.
Oh, her pipe.
That's where she.
Maybe her pipe.
keeps-
Maybe her weed pipe or her crack pipe. Super J.
crack pipe,
Super J's
yeah.
back, by the way. We love Super J.
Hey, Super J.
Super J.
I
You might have missed our intro. We're really sorry we've been gone the past 2 weeks. We had personal affairs that just we could not stay away from, and we didn't want to give you a half-assed show, so we decided to not be here for 2 weeks. Now we're back.
and I just want to say that the word "we" is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence
Yeah.
because it could just be perhaps one person and not a "we," but I don't know which direction you're in on this screen.
I
but
know.
Wherever you are.
I'm to your right shoulder. So
We're
point to
very
your
sorry.
point to your right shoulder.
But we are back.
Point
and
point to your right. To your right. Point to your right. Yeah, that's me. I'm that way. No, I'm not that way. I'm that way. Yeah. Super J also said she was gone, so it worked out. She was not able to make the show anyway. So there you go. So now my story is we knew you weren't going to be around, so we opted not to do the show. So
yeah,
that's our new story that we're sticking to.
Can you go back in the time stream and kind of delete that away? So yeah, I think so. So yeah, I guess for Marcy, it's like what am I supposed to do? Well, you can have that conversation with your mom.
I would.
Just experience that Ferris wheel puke.
Because here's my thing: is go ahead. Sorry, finish up.
Oh no! I just
No, I was gonna say
puke
Ferris wheel, right? But I was gonna say that like if you are an older teen or young 20s living at home, as we're speculating Marcy is, this I maybe see as the window or the opportunity to discuss the bounds of your tenancy in your parents' home. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's like that window to have that conversation and say, look, let's discuss the rules.
Be like,
I understand you have some interest because it's your house. I get that. However, here's the boundaries. You know what I mean? And kind of agree upon that. And again, that might be part of that awkward conversation, but it might save you pain down the road. So that's my.
Mom, do you still have the dildo? Okay, I can always get more weed. That dildo is super special to me.
Super expensive.
Please tell me that you did not yet.
I named it. I named it, Mom.
To get one with triple yeah, exactly.
It's a friend. It was called George.
It is a friend. It's been there for me in lots of times that you weren't, Mom. George was there. You weren't.
George was there. Yep. George was there and there and there and there. No, anyway.
There and.
Anyway, Matilda, good luck.
What's our next question?
Yeah, next question. So here we go. Question 3. We're going on to this one comes from Derek from York, South Carolina. Derek is a 25-year-old male. He started watching porn when he was 8 and has been struggling to quit this addiction ever since. I've tried to quit watching it hundreds of times but never succeeded. Excessive binge watching has left me feeling empty inside. I struggle to make eye contact with females due to this issue. I can't even focus on work because of my thoughts. What should I do? Any advice? Appreciated, asks Derek from York, South Carolina.
Holy shit, 8. Like mine didn't start until I was 10, and we didn't have the internet.
We didn't have the internet. I know. If we did, I don't know.
And there's only so many Sears underwear catalogs.
I don't know what would become with me if the internet existed when I was a kid. Honestly, I don't. I honestly don't know what happened.
Yeah, I perhaps would be institutionalized somewhere, but but yeah, I guess luckily all we had was dial-up BBS with very slow-loading ASCII boobs.
Yeah, and you had to download them in pieces. So like you'd have to download each piece and then reassemble it with the UU decoder, and then show the file, and then it would usually be horrible, and you would delete it, and then you would repeat the process and hopefully get something good.
So yeah, I can definitely see this being a real issue for people, especially with the. Like any addiction, I mean, first thing you want to do, write down your reasons for why you don't, why this addiction is hurting you. You write it all down.
Agreed.
And having that down, it's something for you to look at, and you can see like where your mind is at and what why you're doing what you're doing, and then from there. You got to like remove the stimuli or the physical evidence. So if you're it's hard, I guess, with computers and stuff, because it used to be like, okay, get rid of all your magazines and your tapes and all all that stuff, but now it's like it can come into your home as a fire hose. But I would say cancel subscriptions, anything you've got next,
probably not paying for porn,
credit cards.
Hope you're not paying for porn.
Yeah. Like, you got to be aware of triggers. Like, if you're like walking in the mall and you see Sailor Moon and all of it, it's like, honestly, and you're kind of doing this now, but telling someone else about the problem is
big first step.
Huge. So the fact that you're realizing it and you're like, okay, this is a problem, that's actually, that's the most difficult step for 90% of people. So, congratulations on getting past that one.
Right.
That's the hardest part.
I have to think that Derek. So I mean, 8. I think this has got to be just a habitual addiction, not a actual sexual addiction. You know what I mean? Because you don't have sexual. I think the number of sexual feelings you have when you're 8 are very minimal, if any. You know what I mean? It's like unless you're a very, 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 very early bloomer, it's like
Right, but if you but the profound I can't imagine like exactly what the it's impossible to predict what the effects would be, but starting at 8, if you're watching that kind of content and you don't have depending on the type of porn or the how everything is displayed at the same time as you're watching it, is this addiction is going on unchecked, you're starting to get those feelings while having this addiction, which would then shape your entire
perception of it,
viewpoint of what sex is, what any of that is. And I think as Derek is saying, like, he realizes he's like, he feels empty inside because what they show in porn is not real life.
No.
It's all exaggerated to the extreme. It's
we discussed that before in the show. It's got its function and its purpose. That's fine, but it's not actual real lovemaking with actual real humans. I mean, there is a subset of porn it's called porn for women. You know what I mean? Typically, that we said before is right. It's more
on the Hallmark channel.
Real. Yeah, it's more real than some of your other genres of porn.
Hallmark at night.
Yeah, but it definitely can shape an image of a dysfunctional viewpoint towards sex and what it should be like with a significant other. I had similar when I was. How old is Derek? He's 25 when he was 8. Yeah, it wasn't 8. I was older, but I struggle with it a little bit as well. There was this particular tape, and my father had it, and I knew it was in the drawer of his. It was in like the sock drawer, or something. I don't know, whatever he had somewhere. I just came across it somehow. Actually, I wasn't in a drawer. It was somewhere I could find it. I wasn't in a drawer, but somewhere I could find it. So I found it, and it was the first porn I ever watched, and it was VCRs. I don't know if any of you know what a VCR was.
VHS or Betamax?
VHS. It was a tape about way big, right? And you put it in the machine, and it would play. And whenever my parents were out, I would get that tape and I would watch and I would, do my thing and that kind of thing. And it became pretty much a habit. And then I got my own VCR for Christmas one year because I was starting to get into watching more movies. You know what I mean? And I liked recording my shows. Like I was a big Star Trek Next Generation fan. All this stuff. I wanted to record my shows, right? So fine. I had my own VCR in my room. So and then it occurred to me that I'm like, I figured out how to dub. So the VCR in the living room, I brought mine out, plugged it in, copied this tape. Now I had a copy of it, right? So then it got out of control. So I watched it all the time. It does. The quality degrades every copy. But I would watch this thing all the time where it felt like it was starting to make me unhealthy, right? And then one day I just kind of said, I'm going to get rid of this. I took a hammer and I smashed the tape.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing self-control for being so young to have that, to be like
15,
this is
14,
hurting
15,
me, I'm gonna go
like
ahead and I'm gonna
and to be fair, I regret it as soon as I did it. I'm like, my porn.
Oh, of course you did. Yeah. I mean, that was a why did you do that? That was so that tape was your friend.
It was that tape, and I know that I could tell you the actors that were in that tape and the layout of the scene. It's pretty crazy,
right?
But anyway,
I think now it's different with the sheer volume and variety. I think that's part of it too. Is that it isn't the same.
I think it will be. I think it will be Babysitter Tonight, or I think it will be Stepsister,
or whatever Pornhub throws up in your algorithm.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. I mean, there's lots of cognitive behavioral therapy tricks too, like CBT, to kind of just get yourself out of the habits. There's actually support groups for it. So if you're at a support group meeting and you're watching porn, someone will normally call you out for it. So don't watch porn at your support meetings.
Right. Go on your phone. Exactly. You're like, so what's your problem?
I don't drink at AA meetings. So
it's just not done.
It kind of goes against the whole thing. Right. It's like
they frown upon that.
It's like totally. Yeah.
Don't show up drunk to your AA meeting either.
You're totally the asshole. No, people show up drunk quite a bit, and that's okay. That's
Wow.
quite often. But actually drinking during
And
a meeting is no alcohol is allowed inside.
offering drinks to others is also
Also
not
frowned upon.
frowned upon.
Um,
Yeah, for sure.
but
Um,
normally quickly taken care of just through sheer social group dynamics.
Yeah.
And those situations tend to work themselves out.
Yes. Self-correcting. Yeah, but Derek, it's definitely, you've acknowledged you have a problem, and it's very true that you do, right? If it's affecting you to this extent, CBT is an excellent suggestion. I would recommend professional counseling about that kind of thing, right? Like you need to basically not see porn for some period of time to realign your perception
Right.
of reality and what sex with actual humans is, right?
Right.
And then maybe it can then gradually be a part of your life. But if you have a big problem with it, maybe you can't, And
Well, at this point, I think
to your point,
Even, I
right?
mean,
It
as
was
you
so
say,
ingrained when you were so
like-
young. That's the problem, right?
right. So I mean, I don't know what the effect it will be, like just feeling that way, entirely as much as it. But I think the fact that you realize that you're feeling empty inside shows
Yeah.
that it's affecting you profoundly. And if you had the courage to write this, I think you've got the courage to kind of to move forward and
Mhm.
break yourself of the habit. 'Cause,
Break the cycle, man.
Admitting it is, as I said, 90% of the work.
Yep. You'll feel like $1 million once you break the cycle and get into a new positive habit.
Right. And then
Or-
you can take that time and spend it with actual humans,
Mhm.
who you'll find can often be delightful.
Yes.
So
Has its ups and downs, honestly. But
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's not
not all
I can't say
roses,
it's
but
it's not all 5 stars, but definitely recommend. Say
for sure. So yeah, Derek, good luck. Hope you get the help that you need.
Good luck, Derek.
Yeah. So there we go. I think that's all I had. What was I gonna? I was gonna say something about like shoot, about addiction. I had some kind of profound thought. Maybe it'll come back to me later. I'm gonna let it go for now.
perhaps
Perhaps. Perhaps.
this is what happens with age.
Oh, great. Thanks for that.
Hey. I often enter a room, have no idea why I entered it, leave the room,
I find myself yelling at
and never go back in, and was like, well, whatever I needed, it couldn't have been that important.
I find myself
because-
yelling at clouds now and then, actually. So it's
Yeah, well, clouds are fucking assholes, and so yeah, they know what they did. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dear Lord.
All right.
Oh, here we are.
Pushing
Okay,
forward.
next one, Sophia from Pasadena, California. Sophia
All right.
asks, Sophia is a 19-year-old female. Her eyesight's been getting progressively worse since the 4th grade. I've never told my parents because they say I play too many games and I would need glasses. I'm also too embarrassed to tell them I need glasses after this long a time, and I developed a real fear of someone knowing. I started getting anxious and sweaty whenever someone questions my sight or tells me to read something too far away. I'm also terrified the eye doctor will ask me why my sight is so bad and why I don't have glasses already. Isn't it kind of too late for glasses now anyway at 19? Sophia. Pasadena.
Hey, I just want to make sure I didn't have a stroke as I was listening to the question. Are you implying that you ignored your bad eyesight for so long that now it's not worth considering?
At the
what are
ripe
your
old age-
thoughts on
at the-
having vision?
At the ripe old age
What-
of
just-
19, by the way, just to make that clear.
Right, like, I mean, like me personally. I mean, it's a hot take, but I'm a huge fan of seeing things.
Mm-hmm.
I big proponent. I
Lot of cool stuff
use
to
the
see.
sense all the time.
World's beautiful.
I mean, looking at shit is a major part of my day.
Awesome.
Is it not of yours? I mean, so would you really remain blind for fear that people would judge you if they knew you couldn't see? Like that's, I think this is the most clear-cut definition of like cutting off your nose to spite your face situation.
Right.
I don't.
We live in the modern world, right? It's like take advantage of modern medicine,
Right.
which includes corrective
Right.
lenses that can make you see the world in a whole new way, and it will improve your quality of life substantially. So
Right.
go to the eye doctor.
Also, your eyes are going to continue to age.
Yes.
Like this is only going to get. This will
Right.
not ever get better. You will not be
Right.
like, well, when you're 35.
How does she drive? Does she
Like-
she didn't say she drives or
I-
not? So it's very-
I'm yeah, I do not understand the trouble here. I have to admit. But I will say that if you have any the ability to be able to accurately see and have vision is far the pros column probably a lot more heavily stacked than that negative.
Yes.
People are going to judge me for having glasses because
Right. Seriously.
Adam.
Right. Here's your challenge. Here's your challenge, Sophia. Your challenge number 1, your parents. Apparently you're still on their health insurance, which is why you bring that up, right? And saying, hey, my eyesight's getting pretty bad. It's worse than I noticed it used to be. I'd like to get my eyes checked. That's all you have to say. It doesn't have to bring up the video game thing.
And
set in the
every
screen,
parent is going to be like, okay.
whatever. No, exactly. We pay for health insurance for this very reason. They're going to bring you get an eye test.
Right.
Next thing is the eye doctor saying, hey, my vision's pretty bad. I like to get tested out and making sure we make the right path for corrective lenses. Then do that. And then you have glasses. And you wear them. And you might look cute in them. Who knows? And you'll be able to see. And it'll be wonderful.
We've had it since the 19th century.
Yes.
So I think,
Spectacles.
I mean, even 17th, 18th century,
The
depending on,
monocle.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, go ahead, get your eyes checked.
Please get your eyes checked, Sophia.
Yes, please. And
No one's going to judge you. Millions of people wear glasses.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Most people have some vision issue,
Yes.
and pretty much everyone does at some point
Yes.
as they get older. Like even if you had perfect vision, eventually you'll need
Yes.
reading glasses or something.
Correct.
So,
Go get tested.
Um,
Get the glasses.
yeah.
Yep. And then you'll be able to pass your driving test. I'm assuming you don't have your license because they do an eye test and you probably would have freaked out, right? So, but once you get the glasses,
Right.
you'll feel comfortable getting your eye test, and then you'll pass it with your corrective lenses, and then you'll be able to drive.
Right.
And be able.
Because if you live in Pasadena, California, you have to be able to.
Yeah. How
drive
can you not get
because
around? You can't get around Pasadena without a
You
car.
can't. You literally can't because
Right.
it's.
You're Ubering everywhere, I guess, if you do, right?
Right. It's like if you live in California, you're required to make a carbon footprint at all times. So they've pushed and pulled against it, but yeah, it's unfortunately it's just kind of part of the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. So just to address the concern really quick, so it's not too late for glasses because you're only 19. So punt that, right? And the eye doctor is not going to mock you and ask you why you don't have glasses already. So
Right. They generally don't do that.
Right.
That's
because he wants to test you and he wants to sell you glasses. He will gladly give
it's
up
like
those
his whole
things.
thing.
It's why he exists.
He's literally put his life
or she
into
or she.
Well, in this situation, you started with the he, so I just continued on.
I was trying to bait you.
Yeah, exactly. Don't try to mansplain to me, Vanguard. I know when I'm being gaslit.
That's right. So go to the eye doctor.
Go on.
Be it he or she. Get the freaking glasses.
Yes.
Please.
Whatever. Regardless of pronouns, get your eyes checked. It's all good. Anybody can do it. Anybody with with the certificate.
That degree of
any and all genders.
Ophthalmology, yes. Optometry, yes.
Or just optometry. You don't even have to.
You need
ophthalmology.
Yeah,
is
you
the
don't
next
need that.
step.
Yep.
You don't have to be a doctor. But
Yes.
You have to.
So take care of your eyes because the world's a wonderful place to see. I will say that.
Well. Yeah. Okay. Don't oversell it.
All right, fine.
Come on.
I don't want to be disappointed.
You've seen the world out there. Come on.
That's right.
All
right.
Let's be a little realistic.
Moving to our last question. This is Noah from Grand Junction, Colorado. I've been to Grand Junction actually. Should I write a book about my life? I know it sounds pretty stupid and self-centered, but I've been told many times that I'm good at writing in my native language. I'd like to write about my childhood and some struggles I feel many kids have silently gone through. I'm only 18 though. Would I just be wasting my time? Asks Noah.
Hey, writing anything is never a waste of time. Of course, unless it's poetry, because then that can just quickly turn into a war crime.
Wow.
But hey, I mean, I think we can all agree that all poetry is terrible. Let's just say that, okay? Which includes all of music as well. I just,
which includes all lyrics and all
and everything. Just go with me on that.
Okay.
But yeah, I think honestly, writing down your thoughts and lived experiences, like that's a
Fantastic.
awesomely cathartic way to
totally
just process everything and just
yeah.
I mean, because you've got to process the daily rivers of flaming shit barrels that we navigate every day, blindfolded in this fucking kayak, going down the river of our cold, unforgiving universe.
Yes.
So yeah, having a
Onward
way
towards
to
oblivion.
process those. Yeah, exactly. Rather than just walking off into the ocean,
Right.
writing things down. I mean,
Yeah.
as long as your goal is to like capture all your thoughts and experiences, and it's not, there's no expectation of further reward down the road for such writings. I think you're fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you have a book in you, get it out. Let it out there, right? If you think it's really in you. And at a bare minimum, like absolute minimum here, Noah, is that like 20 years from now, it's going to help you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to look back and say, damn, that was my perspective when I was 18. Huh. Interesting. Right? And you're going to learn something about yourself. So.
Yeah. But if you had if you go into it thinking that your life is so interesting that anyone's going to give a shit, will actually pre-fuck yourself. So
right, exactly.
That's kind of like, you don't want to go there. But yeah, no, right. I mean, I wish I had done that. That would like.
Oh, me too. Me too, totally.
Well, yeah, I guess it would depend, I mean, depending on what I wrote, what would be evidence and what not. Again, that's statute of limitations, but then when you have new evidence in a fresh case, I don't know, there's a lot of, there's a lot of legal things around exactly how much written material of exploits that occurred should be even exist, really. I think I go back
to old journal entries and I find them interesting. Like, I'm not consistent with journaling, but like I'll have stuff from like 10 years ago, right?
Oh yeah.
I'll look back and I'll say, oh, that's interesting. The mix of interesting and depressing, because it's like I'll look and I'll be like, oh, I'm complaining about the same things now that I was 10 years ago. Huh, that's a shame.
I have had the same email address for 25 years.
Long time.
And all of that email is stored. And so I occasionally, like, if I hit the wrong button, it goes back 1999.
Yeah.
And wow, yeah, I wrote some really, really sad emails.
Yeah.
In 1999.
Yeah, the things that mattered to me 20 years ago,
right,
are substantially different than they are now.
Or like, go through your email and take an entire snapshot of a relationship.
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I have folders. I have folders for each girlfriend. I have a folder for each.
Of course you do. Of course you fucking do. Do you have all of your emails saved and foldered for posterity?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
You just said you did too. So don't bullshit me.
No. You put structure around it.
Yes.
You labeled it. What I'm saying is that it's just there, and so I like it. But I haven't gone into put effort into categorizing it. But also I don't have pornography of my ex that I hold very close to me and that I think is important. And
who would do that? Who would have that?
I don't know.
That's
I'm just
horrible.
saying, if
Who would have
anybody,
that?
it's just I don't even know why I said that.
I don't know why I said that.
I
don't know where that came from. It might have came from a previous show. I'm not sure, but I don't know.
I can't. Yeah, we should move on. Yeah, because that's just too fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, Super J saying not too late. Why not now? Why not now? What? Write a book? Do you think we should write a book, or the Green Pen should write a book about his life?
Well,
dude, your life story would be kind of interesting, I have to say. It really would.
If it provided all the names could be changed.
Yeah.
But I think if I had written down all of the experiences as they happened, the book would be more accurate.
I see.
Although many of my life tales have sort of taken on a life of their own as the years have gone on.
They've grown into some may call them epics, legends.
Yeah, it's hard to know. In some of them I have a big blue ox. It's weird.
Chopping down trees.
Chopping down trees. So yeah, I think was that all 5?
Yeah, that was it, dude. So it's
wow.
I think let me check. Is that Noah? Yeah, Noah. So good luck. Write the book, man.
Yeah.
If you feel a book in you, I say it to anybody. If you feel a book in you, write it. You'll never know when you'll be in that headspace again. You know what I mean?
Even if you don't feel like writing a book, writing in general is good because
agreed.
you know, putting it all together, you know, and I think, yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna really you're ever gonna regret having that to go and look back on and reflect on, because
Right.
if you know, although I would probably find anything that 18-year-old me thought to be objectively terrifying,
Right.
but you know,
Right.
we'll
Yeah.
see. Again, statute of limitations. That's all I'm
no,
saying.
I like going
Thank
back
you.
and I like going back and reading my old stuff. Occasionally, like I said, I'll be like, ugh, I'm still saying the same shit. And sometimes it'll be like, I'll read something, I'm like, oh, that's really good. Who wrote that? And it was me. I'm like, oh, all right.
Oh, I don't got
Yeah.
that kind of time.
No.
I don't know. I'm glad some people have that. you know.
Speaking of time, it's time for speed round. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, it is
it you, or
your
is
it is your turn for speed round. So I'm
Ooh,
gonna pull
okay.
up our
All right.
timer here. I'm gonna put 60 seconds on that timer. So this is the deal. So we have 5 more. We call them quick questions. We use them for speed rounds, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 1 minute on the timer, and Green Pants is gonna have 1 minute to answer these 5 rapid fire questions quickly as he can, and we will dive into details after. So Green Pants, you got to focus on the question. You sometimes stray. You can explain after. Don't forget, you only have 60 seconds. So, all right, here we go.
You know, I do. Yep.
I will let you off the hook on anything. Don't worry. And the timer will start as soon as I finish reading the first
Okay.
question. Green Pants, are you ready?
I am ready.
What is the most amount of money you dropped at an exotic dancing establishment in a single day?
One specific establishment or in a 24-hour period?
24-hour period.
$3,500.
Oh, fuck! That's an overall concept. That's an overall
What?
concept. Is the existence of mayonnaise a net negative or net positive?
While often described as the most vile of condiments, I am an advocate of mayonnaise.
Got it.
Dry sandwiches, sandwiches should not be like Ben Shapiro's wife's vagina.
Understood. Oh, damn. What is the make and model of the first car you had sex in?
Sexual activity or actual sex?
I'm going to assume intercourse.
1989 two-door Mazda Protege.
Boom. What do you do when you go to check out from a store and discover they only had paper bags?
Oh shit! Pretty much anything anyone would do. Fucking scream, reject the paper bag, try to take all of the items, put them in my shirt, and fucking carrying them out because a paper bag is fucking not load bearing.
Okay. Can you tell the difference between a llama and an alpaca?
Yes.
Okay. All right. There we go. We went a little over, but part of that was my fault, so I'm going to forgive that. Wow. So, wow. I thought I was bad.
You had a reaction.
I was at I think I'm $1,500. So 3,500. Goddamn impressive.
Well, that was my one specific establishment was I would say 1,100. A 24-hour period, 3,500. Yeah.
If you invested
Maybe
that
be more than
3,500,
that.
if you invested that 3,500 in like Apple stock at the time, you would be.
Why don't you shut the fuck up? Why don't you get off?
Or I could do that.
Get all the way off my back about that.
Well, I spent 1,500 and I thought that was high.
Yeah,
So-
see? I regret nothing.
no, hey, that's
I also
great.
remember nothing.
I-
So, you know, who's the idiot now?
Wow. Yeah, I'm
heard it
trying
was
to
free.
think if that was
it's not.
truly my. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 1,500 was mine. Yeah, so it was. Yeah, it was like this must have been a very high end establishment to be able to spend that much.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This is all San Francisco.
Ah,
Behind the green door. Yeah.
I've been.
I will say, as a gender, we're pretty dumb, and yeah, like lots
I
of
was explaining.
lots of money.
I was explaining to someone once. It was a significant other. It might have been Mrs. Vanguard. She's like, "Well, isn't there an exploitive aspect to it?" You know, and I'm like, "Yes, the men who walk in are exploited." because as soon as they walk in, they are putty in the hands of those women who choose to take as much money as they wish.
because for some sad reason, a male will be attracted to a sign that says legs and eggs and will be like, oh, I can get breakfast and see ass.
Yay.
That's just how disgusting we are. And it's like that we will go in and be like, and most of these places, remember, they don't fuck around. They will say, they will put an ATM machine in the establishment, which has a maximum withdrawal of $50
Right.
that only withdraws $50 bills
Yes.
and gives you a $15 service fee, for every 50 that you
Does
withdraw.
everyone come with your own cash beforehand? Go to the bank, get your cash.
I have seen people spend hundreds of dollars on the fee alone at the strip club.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. And
Saying, if you have a bank,
yeah.
set up an ATM at a strip club,
Yes, yes.
because
I
you
can't
can
even
charge
tell
an
you.
outrageous fee,
And they will pay
because-
it.
Yeah.
It will be paid.
Uh,
But one disclaimer I want to put on here, right, is that we're talking about all consensual, non-influenced, non-coerced activity, right? This
Right.
is like women who choose with sound minds
these are-
to go down this path, right? And
Well, I mean, in the question you had said, exotic dancing establishment,
Mhm.
which at least it, for means that it's not, some
I mean,
underground.
it happens, right?
ring
Like,
or
right,
something.
true.
Oh,
But I
no,
mean,
that
people
actually
get
happens,
women
but
get
in terms
coerced
of-
into this, right, and trafficked and stuff, and we're
Right,
not for
right.
that in any way, shape, and form.
No,
We're talking about women again of
we
sound
only want
mind
to
who-
throw our money at people who
That we know,
really
exactly.
want it and are looking specifically for it
Yes.
and have asked for it,
Right, and we give it to
are
them.
actively saying nice things to us,
Right.
so that we will give it to them,
Right.
and then we'll say, hey, you know what? I will say nice things for another 3 minutes
Right.
if you give me 100.
Right.
And you do.
And we do. Yeah. What does that say?
Because we're stupid.
It's just stupid.
Says we're dumb.
It's
It says that we can be led into
lordy.
anything pretty much.
40. Yep.
Uh,
That's our take on that. All right, what else we got here? Mayonnaise. I think mayonnaise is atrocious. I hate it. I would eat the driest sandwich in the world before I even touched mayonnaise. And I like eggs, so that's weird.
Well, okay. There's lots of reasons to. I mean, basically, mayonnaise is egg sauce.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right.
It's like eggs,
Milk, right? Is there
oil,
milk
and
in it?
vinegar.
Is
No,
there
no,
milk in
no,
it?
no. It's
milk?
no, it's oil. It's
oil. Oil gives it a consistency.
egg,
Yeah.
and then vinegar.
I can't do it. I find it disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
But
I'd rather my sandwich be as dry as the Sahara, and I will eat the sand, than eat mayonnaise.
wow.
Yeah, I feel very strongly about it.
Yeah, it's actually known as the devil's condiment. Like the people
Really?
who hate mayonnaise hate it so much. It's
Yeah,
like
that's me.
I think there was it's one of those things that, like, I remember hearing about. It was like, why does someone not like mayonnaise? And it was described as like literally because of like how it is, its viscosity,
Yes.
and the fact that the thickness that you get from it and the fluid that sort of oozes from it is reminiscent of like a rotting carcass,
Yes.
which then triggers the human's disgust
Disgust
mechanism.
reaction. Yeah. That's what it is.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's like that is the reason, and it's like that's what mayo does.
Yeah, that's mayonnaise. That is mayonnaise. You summed it up very well then. Thank you for that.
And I absolutely love it. It's sandwich glue.
All right.
You know,
me mustard. Deli mustard is my thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, the spicy mustard,
Yeah.
or no, pass. I will. French's mustard, that's fine, but
Yellow mustard?
yeah.
That's just for hot
Otherwise,
dogs.
well, I don't like spicy mustard because then I can't taste the mayonnaise. So,
I see.
I mean,
All right,
would
fair
make
enough.
sense.
So this car that you had sex in, what was it again? It was Mazda?
Well, the first car that any sort of we'll just say sexual dalliances
Yes.
happened in,
Yes.
things of a sexual nature,
Yes.
was a 1986 big blue Buick Skylark.
Okay.
And later, my second car was a 1989 black two-door Mazda Protege. So
That
Mazda
wasn't the one you
Protege
said.
was
What
the
was the-
first car I actually had
That wasn't the one you said, though.
sex in. No, the Buick Skylark.
No. You said that the car you said was familiar to me because it was the car you had in college.
Yeah,
Freshman
a
year of college.
1989 two-door Mazda Protege.
Oh, it was Mazda Protege? Was it really? Got it.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
it was 4-speed Mazda. Yeah.
I remember that car. I've been in that car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, where'd you?
And,
shit, where'd you have? I sat in the front seat. Where'd you have the sex? Did I sit where you? I think I.
Why
did.
do you ask questions
I
that
sat
want
in
answers
the-
too?
I sat in the sex place. Didn't
A lot
I?
of times you answer. You have sat in so many wet spots. It is hard to get down.
God.
Even and I'm not gonna try to remember for you, but
Yeah.
let's just say,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Buick Skylark, though, far bigger.
Oh, huge! You could actually
would've been a lot more
lay. You could
comfortable.
lay almost full out,
and
right? Very wide vehicle.
totally gone to waste.
Yeah, all
went
Buicks,
to waste.
very big cars, very big cars.
Yeah.
LeSabre was my first car, Buick LeSabre, so I'm familiar with how big a Buick is.
Yeah. Similar to a Skylark,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
the LeSabre.
Are you ready? I have an announcement to make. I have never had sex in a car.
Are you fucking serious?
I am.
You?
I know. I've had sex on a car, but I haven't had sex in the car. Right?
You know what? I'm gonna give you on the car as accounting.
Does that count?
I think because that's still like has all of the. It's like you were out somewhere. There was a car. That's where
Right.
you were.
And so then we did it. right?
That's just a matter of weather, I
Got it.
suppose.
Yeah, yeah. It was a nice day. It was a nice night.
Yeah. So I would, and that's also there's far less of a chance of when that police officer knocks with
I
his
was gonna
flashlight
say,
on the window.
The first time I
Yeah.
almost had sex in the car, it was the window tap, and I was getting a blowjob at the time. So we got the
Yep.
tap, tap, tap. All right, kids, go home. Okay, fine. But it was going to happen that night probably. But because of that, it didn't. And then the situation just never came up again. Like we were like anytime I want to after that, we just happened to be where nobody was home and used a bed. You know what I mean, or whatever, right?
Right.
And then when I got older, I had an apartment and I have a bed. You know what I mean? So it went
That's
from
true.
there. So the situation just never lined up. I should do it just for the sake of doing it.
No, I mean, just like, a lot of people like to be part of the Mile High Club, but you don't actually want to try to have sex in a airplane bathroom because it's impossible and disgusting.
Disgusting.
So it's sort of like, unless you just really, really want to have that on your bucket list for
Right,
some reason, to be
right.
like,
Say that you did it.
like
Woo!
it's
Yeah.
incredibly difficult to pull off.
Yeah.
And even it's undesirable. I don't like being in
Nobody
airport bathrooms
wins.
alone. I don't like being in them at
Oh,
all.
ugh,
Much
nasty.
less
I know.
trying to feel feelings of. I don't think I could get amorous in a bathroom.
I'd have to be
on
really
an airplane.
randy to do it in an airplane bathroom.
Yeah. Wait, you had to be, meaning you were,
I
or
have. I've been where I probably would have. You know what I mean? I almost did it in a bus bathroom, which is worse.
that's worse.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
Absolutely
I don't.
disgusting.
That's so bad. I've never actually been in one.
Yeah.
Because I've just known that buses have bathrooms, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not a place for a person.
Yeah, I was with someone.
I've never been in one.
We were fooling around. I'm like, hey, we should go in the bathroom. And I went first. I looked in there and I came back. I said, no, we're not doing this. Not happening.
You almost took a girl into a bus
Yeah.
bathroom?
It was her idea, too. Crazy.
Fucking Jersey, man.
Those were the days.
yeah.
It was Jersey. It was Jersey, actually. It was like Jersey.
Of course it was.
I got a hand job
That's
under the
really
blanket,
crazy.
though, which was fantastic.
On the bus?
On the bus. With other people around. Sleeping. Late. But
Still.
but we're not here to talk about my exploits.
Knott's Berry Farm.
Really? Knott's Berry Farm? In Knott's Berry Farm?
That's very. Yeah, on a ride.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
You gotta write that book, man.
Oh. I mean, well, but that. I mean that. Yeah, that was also sort of spur of the moment type
Right.
of thing when and being young and being like,
Being young and
yeah,
dumb.
okay,
Why not? Let's do
Yeah.
this. Wait, you had sex or you got a hand job?
hand job.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. 'Cause intercourse would be
but I
difficult,
have-
would think.
Yes, but I have been kicked out of Disneyland for
Oh.
being with someone who had sex in the ride.
Oh!
That
You
was my
were
friend.
an associate. Okay, that did that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We all got
Was
booted
this the
out of
associate?
Disneyland.
I'm not gonna name any names. This was the associate that might have lived in Canada, and this person that he was with was a person of a young age.
No,
Okay, it was not that. Okay.
It is that is not. This is no.
Oh, it's
This
not
is-
that. Okay, good. Different
It is
situation.
not that. It
All
is. It is a different. It is a different person.
All right, good.
But
Well, thank goodness.
yes.
Dear God.
Because this was. Well, this was also when I was younger. This was in Southern California when I lived there.
Oh.
So this was well before I had met influential Canadians. That would later shape the direction of my life.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and
Yes.
telling the difference between a llama and an alpaca.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Moving
totally.
on.
Like, yeah, llamas are like much. Yeah, llamas are taller.
Yes.
I think a llama's like 300 pounds, and
Yeah,
like an
they're
alpaca is
bigger.
like 150 pounds. or
Definitely
something
much
like that.
bigger.
They're like a big dog.
Like if it was like a baby llama, you might have to turn your head and think about it. You know what I mean? They both spit when provoked, right? I think they share that in common.
No, that's one of the biggest differences. Alpacas are
I
shy.
think.
So alpacas are pretty gentle and shy, whereas like llamas are fucking confident. Like llamas are like
Yeah.
meh, like right in your face.
Right.
And like if a llama feels threatened, like they will attack. Like
Right.
alpacas are like
Yeah, and alpaca's more
it's a last
domesticated.
resort
It's more
for them.
domesticated, I think, that alpaca.
Well,
you know
it's
what I mean?
also
They
just-
shun
it's-
for its fur.
I mean, alpacas, yeah, they spit as like an absolute last resort, but like
Yeah.
if they're cornered or something.
Right.
Whereas llamas can be total fucking assholes.
Right.
Um,
For sure.
uh,
I think like
yeah, also a llama has much longer face too. than
I think that's
alpaca.
right. And an alpaca to me looks like like the head looks like a sheep, but just on a longer neck. You know what I mean? It looks like a sheep head.
Right. The yeah, like the alpaca has the more like smushed in face, whereas the llama has the longer one. And then alpacas have like short ears, when llamas have like much longer ears.
Yes.
I believe.
To me, like a llama looks like a almost like a camel and a donkey had a baby. You know what I mean? Because it's got like the donkey-ish kind of head.
Oh, a camel and a donkey. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Kind of.
It's got the
Yeah,
donkey-ish looking face, but like the camelish body kind of thing. But anyway,
Right.
so there we go. More than
Right,
you
and
ever
I
want to
think-
know about llamas.
And I think alpacas actually have much like finer hair too.
Maybe they're probably shorn in
I
their
think
their
alpacas
fur is probably
softer.
used for different types of garments. I would assume.
Yeah.
Wool. There you
Um,
go.
But I have
Um,
never been kicked out of any establishment with anything associating with a llama. So, whereas
Are you saying I
these
have?
other questions,
Oh right.
no, I'm just saying it's not one of the ones in which like sort of like exotic dancing establishments.
I see.
Have I been kicked out of those before?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Was it because of me?
No. Right. It's always who you're hanging around. Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Right.
You've been removed from the
I
premises from
have
places because of association.
Hung out with some people who might be considered unsavory, we'll say. And I would have made better choices at times. But I have learned from those choices, and yeah.
There you go. Oh, we didn't get into
Every day's
paper bags. You would not get the paper bag.
Oh,
It was the only option.
I
You hate
am
paper bags.
It's like I will bring my own bags. That is what I do most
I
of
do
the
as
time,
well.
is like
I do as well.
I have bags in the car,
Including separate
that's what I want.
insulated cold bags for the frozen items.
I don't go that far, but normally I'm going right home quickly, so
Okay.
it's not an issue.
Fair.
But it's more that the paper bags actually use more energy and everything, are actually less. They're actually not as good for the environment. It's actually
Mhm.
worse for the environment and we waste more water and energy and everything else. So when a town changes to a paper bag only policy in order to be environmentally friendly, they're not.
Oh, really? Do towns do
Yeah,
that? I've
it's-
never heard of that.
Yes. No, in the town that I
Oh.
live, they do
Come
that. Oh no,
on.
no, they did. No, in the town that I live, they did that, and then the residents went so crazy they rescinded it, but the next town over still has it. And it's a real problem. Like when you go,
Bring your own bags, no problem.
like, yeah, right. If you have your own bags, but especially if you're in an establishment where you didn't know that you were going to bring your own bags or whatever, it's like, yeah, it's I have had several situations where just entire things just fell right through the bag, or
Oh
like
my
they
God.
would tear, or like before they even get to the car, you approach them the wrong way. It tear. I fucking hate paper bags,
Hate.
and the fact that they are worse for the environment. That's the thing that really, because it's like the tree pulp, it's like why
Sure,
anyone
sure.
thinks
The
that paper
process of
bags are
making them.
somehow use
Yeah.
less energy than
Well, I think the
that.
waste. I think the thing is the waste of the paper bag is better, but the construction of it is much, much worse. You know what I mean? Whereas the construction of the plastic
Right,
bag is
but-
simplified, but
but-
the waste of the plastic bag is more of a problem.
Right. The paper bag will, yes, will biodegrade. However, takes up far more physical
Oh,
space.
absolutely,
Like the actual
absolutely.
plastic bag, it takes up a very tiny amount of space. So
Absolutely. And I thought the
I have
like the
feelings.
latest plastic bags I thought were also photodegradable, which means if they're in the sunlight, they'll just slowly disintegrate like within a reasonable amount
yeah,
of time.
well, like I do composting, and we have compost bags, and the compost bags compost.
Mhm.
So it's just a
Right.
matter of like how, it's just how long. Yeah, but like once they're in sunlight, they just break down naturally. I mean, but they don't. But like, whereas paper bags break down immediately upon exiting the vehicle, which
Exiting
is
the
not what I
store.
need. Like I would rather have my composting bag. Give me fucking composting bags at the supermarket,
Put in your
and I will
composting
bring them
bin.
home,
Right.
and I will just drop them in the composting.
Done.
Why? Oh my! This is another. Why more? That is
I know. People are trying to help, but they wind up
so
hurting.
many
But they
problems
try
that
to
we can
help.
solve if they
Try
just
to help.
listened.
I know.
You try to help. It's just they don't. No one wants to listen.
Speaking of
What are
which,
you gonna do?
hopefully people listen to us because I think we helped today.
I know we helped today.
I think so.
I mean, I got certainly more than we did the last 2 weeks.
Yes, when we didn't help at all.
Which we both feel very bad about because we both were equally
To blame.
at fault
Yes.
for it. So
Yes. We accept the
On behalf of-
responsibility as a unit.
both of us,
Yes.
Vanguard is sorry.
And Green Pants is also sorry. Oh, that was wonderful of you to say that and admit that. On yourself. Commend you. Applaud you.
I sometimes it feels good to be brave.
Yes. Challenging.
Um,
So speaking of which,
no.
hopefully, who's our friend who had the Marcy? Marcy, we hope you're brave and confront your mom. Not confront. Have a constructive conversation with your mother about property, privacy, expectations about living in your parents' house. And they do owe you for some new sex toys.
Boys.
That's my opinion.
Right. Well, ask your mom. Just start the conversation with, "Hey, couldn't help but notice.
My dildo's
How
gone.
are you enjoying my dildo?
Right.
How are you enjoying George, Mom?
my
Did
dou-
you know his name was George?
my double-ended
So, I can't help
10-inch
but notice.
my double-ended 10-inch long black dildo is missing.
Yeah.
Did you
One
see
that
it?
runs on. Yeah, it runs on
4D
4D batteries.
batteries.
Yeah, it's
Gas
yeah, I mean,
powered.
it was really 'cause it was there. I mean, you pulled the rip.
Pull some-
I mean, it's got its 2-stroke engine. I mean, it's talk about stroking. I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
there you
yeah,
go.
I mean, okay. Anyway, so Mom, are
That's-
you high right now? Because I couldn't help but notice that
My gummy's
weed is
also
gone.
gone,
Too.
right?
Also gone.
So
Did you
I
eat
just
them
pictured
now,
you,
or
and
did
I know this is wrong of me, but I pictured you eating my weed while you're using my dildo on yourself, and I'm
Yeah,
like, that can't
isn't
be,
that a
no,
weird thing for
can
me to
it?
think?
Right?
Yeah. So let's have a chat.
Yes.
Yeah. So you don't have to go with that exact format, Marcy,
Right,
but you can workshop that if you want, but that'll hopefully get you started and in the right direction.
That's right. Matilda, don't rape your boyfriend, please. Wait till he's 17.
Yes.
And
Matilda,
condoms,
yep.
condoms when properly used are adequate.
Yes. Playing just the tip, or
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull out. It's gonna be fun. Is
Oh yeah. We've all been there. I
not a
mean,
real-
I've had so many. Why did we do that? And when in the moment you're like, "This is what we have to do," and afterwards you're like, "Why did we do that? That was a stupid thing to do."
I have never done that.
You've never,
Never.
you've never went bareback on spur of the moment because you guys were so into it. You just caution of the wind and went for it.
Nope.
Wow, that's like right up there with the me no sex in the car thing.
I mean, no, it's not like it's spur of the moment, but had a condom.
Okay. Great.
That was the thing. Yeah.
I've had a couple incidents where it didn't happen. Fortunately, dodged the bullet.
You know.
Risky. Don't do it, kids.
Now I'm wondering if that actually now I'm wondering if I just sort of like made that up in my head. If I had like
Oh,
because they're
I'm
probably
sure
actually
you have, dude.
I mean probably less than 15 times.
Okay.
I would say that happened.
Oh, what? That's your
Definitely
that's your
less than-
threshold. If something's less than 15, it just it no longer is in your notice. You're like,
Yeah.
it didn't happen if it's less than 15.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a regular thing. At
Right.
50, I mean, because at that
I mean,
point, it's almost statistically insignificant.
But a reminder: only once is adequate for fertilization. I'm just saying, from biological perspective.
I don't want to get into all
That's
that
fine.
biology stuff.
It's also in
It's
the
less than
past.
15.
It's
Yeah,
also
it's
in
also
the
yes,
past.
it's in the past, so it didn't happen.
Yes,
That's how the past works.
statute of limitation. Back to that, right?
We've all learned that.
Let's see. What? Derek, his porn addiction. Yep. Hopefully, you get some help with that for sure.
Yes,
We're pulling for you on that one.
write it down,
And
and also never hesitate to write down your thoughts.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's
You
Noah.
think it's going to be a book?
Yeah.
Right. Noah, write it down.
Right.
You won't regret it.
Most of your generation actually cannot write, so you need to. Let me say that as well.
Let's not be too judgy.
Write well. Let me put it that way. Write well.
But some of them know far more about porn than I ever will. So,
Sure. Looping it around.
it's a great big circle.
There you go. And Sophia, go to the goddamn eye doctor because you're being ridiculous.
Yeah, seriously.
So
Yeah.
we love you, but
you're gonna go blind.
go to the eye doctor. Seriously. Yes.
Right. We love you more if you could see us.
If you could see us.
as we see you,
And we right. That's right.
or as we picture you in our heads.
All right. Well, that's it. So we're gonna sign off. But this was good. I think we did some good here.
I think we
After
did.
our
I
long
think,
hiatus. And Super J, wonderful to see you as always. We love you and miss you.
always.
Dearly.
This is
dearly.
one of the reasons that I take Vanguard's phone calls.
That's right.
A lot of times I'm looking at there and going,
I'll say
and
to
then
him
I'm like,
that
I
Super
think,
J would be
you know what?
devastated if you
Super
were
J
not
would
here.
love this.
Yes.
I think,
Yes.
and I think, so it keeps me going.
I think so. I hope it's a factor. That's great. All right, crew. So we're gonna be back here. Was it Tuesday? Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern
Hopefully.
U.S. time. Yeah. No, I see no
Yep,
issues.
as long
with
as no
it. And
nothing weird pops up
nothing
that we're not expecting.
It pops up on
No
things.
No events.
9:30
things.
p.m. Eastern U.S. time. We will be here. So go to the link below. It's below Green Pants and submit questions. We do have a backlog, so we'll be working through that. But if you have new ones that, please, the more the better, and we can help as many people as possible.
Absolutely. We do have a few dozen to get through from the backlog,
Yes.
but just keep submitting because it is our lifeblood and it is what fuels us.
It is.
And
It is. Gives things meaning.
it's how we help you.
That's right.
Because we can't help when we don't hear.
That's
So we're here. We're listening.
Except for now,
Eyes and ears.
except from now because we're leaving, so we will no longer be listening. But
Right.
next, we will listen
so
next
for now,
week.
gone.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we'll listen again. I mean, we did listen this week.
We did.
But we're done listening now.
Right. Right.
But we're gonna listen again in a
Later,
week.
but not now.
later.
Right.
But later, not like later today. Later,
Right.
like time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like a week.
Right.
say a
Cosmologically
week.
speaking, not a long time, but
Yeah.
for the life of a fruit fly,
We're talking
eternity.
just rotations of orbit. Yeah.
That was good. So we'll see you next
All
week,
districts
everybody.
around the sun.
Good night. And remember, we are
Good night.
here to help.